Hi, I did my social justice project on bullying. As you can see in the top right corner, there's a picture of a girl being bullied by her classmates. So, what is bullying? Bullying is a worldwide problem that has or will affect everyone at some point in their lifetime. The definition of bullying from the Merriam-Webster dictionary is abuse and mistreatment of someone vulnerable by someone stronger, more powerful than them, etc. Bullying could also be called or referred to as trolling, which is more so something that happens in video games and cyberbullying, but it's the purposeful destruction or annoyance to a person or their property. You can also be bullied through discrimination. Here is a fact about bullying and some victims about bullying. 90% of 4th through 8th graders report being victims of bullying. That's from DoSomething.org. That is a organization that is against bullying, and they do a lot of stuff to help prevent it. Then some famous people who were bullied: Martin Luther King Jr. He was bullied for helping bridge the gap between whites and blacks in the United States. Bullying can also be another form of discrimination. And another person from the segregation era who was bullied was Rosa Parks. She was bullied or attempted to be bullied into giving up her seat on the bus to a white man, and instead of moving back to her seat in the back where the black people were supposed to sit back then. And she refused to, and by her refusing to give up her seat, that helped Martin Luther King end segregation in some ways. And even more famous people in the modern day, like Justin Timberlake and Rihanna, were bullied as children, and they have still been bullied on social media, and that's from the Business Insider. What do you do if you're bullied? First, you need to report it to a teacher, parent, guardian, grandpa, grandma, any adult around. You need to make sure that it doesn't go unnoticed, and some adult who's in some type of power knows what's going on, so they can help prevent it and maybe hand down some punishment. Another way that you could handle bullying is to kill the bullying with kindness. If they make fun of you, just take it as a compliment and shrug them off. Usually when you're being bullied, people are only saying those things about you because they're jealous of you. So if you're a smart kid in class and the bully comes up to you and he's like, "Hey, you have a really big head," and you could be like, "Oh, well, thanks. That's because my brain's so big because I'm smart," or something along those lines. And then another key thing not to do if you're bullied is don't bully the bully back or use physical violence against them. It never works, and it always leads to more problems. Generally, if you attack someone back, the second person gets caught instead of the initial person doing it. So you would end up hurting yourself probably more than the bully in the long run. And here's some people and companies trying to do things to end bullying. WWE, the wrestling company, has their own program called Be a Star, which it's a 16-week program that schools use where it just anti-bullying, acceptance, all those types of things. And I think if the WWE is in your area, when you finish up your program, they'll send a wrestler out to your school and have a big assembly. Then a famous person who helps or tries to help end bullying is Kate Middleton. She was very bullied at a boarding school when she was younger, and it was very traumatic for her. So when she got married, instead of having wedding gifts for her and her husband, what they did is they had all the guests donate the money they were going to spend on the presents to an anti-bullying charities. I got that from the Business Insider. And then another company would be the Stand for the Silent organization that's ran by Kirk and Linda Smalley. They travel the country spreading their message of anti-bullying. They do this because their son Ty killed himself when he was 11, and they came through Sioux City. Let's see, it was about 8 years ago, because it was when I was in 7th or 8th grade, and it was a very powerful assembly. And they want to make sure that no one has to deal with what they went through with their son killing themselves, so they don't. That's a big part of their message. And what can be done to end bullying? You need to teach acceptance to your children at a young age. They will follow what you do and what you say, so if you're not accepting, they won't be either. So if you use the word gay a lot as like a slur or in discrimination wise, they'll start using it as they get older, or even as they're younger too, and then it'll become a part of their vocabulary and they'll keep using it. You need to take a diversity class as early as you can in your schooling, like this one. This is a great class helping you understand more about what different races, sexualities, and cultures deal with. Another way that you could do that too is surround yourself with people who are different minded than you, but you still get along with them. Like a couple of my friends, I wasn't very I wasn't a big fan of gay marriage or anything, and I'm still not agreeing with it. But before, I was completely against it, and now I'm like, okay, they're people. They get to do what they want to do. Everyone has their own opinions and actions. And another thing that you can do to help end bullying is think before you speak. That way, you won't say something hurtful to someone. You never know what the impact of the things that you will say is until you've done them. So, like, I'm sure the person who was bullying Ty Small, I didn't think Ty was going to end up killing himself, and then he ended up doing it, so I'm sure the bully feels horrible. Then there's my sources, and that's it.